Remember back in the day, right? The AV guy and the IT guy were basically two different species.
Oh, completely. Different closets, different tool belt. They barely spoke the same language.
Exactly. But today, if you're moving video, you're moving it over a network. The walls are gone, but that's created this huge headache. How do you push broadcast quality video through a pipe built for emails?
It's the central challenge, really. You're trying to force a fire hose of data through what is essentially a garden hose. And that is exactly where the hardware we're digging into today comes in.
Yeah, the PureLink VIP-NET-4804PL3-1G.
A real mouthful.
It really is. But let's be honest, on the surface, this thing looks like any other 48-pert switch you'd pull out of a rack.
Yeah.
The documentation says it's expertly engineered for AV over IP. So is that just, marketing fluff? Or is there actually different hardware under the hood?
That's a fair question. And the difference is it's very real, and you usually find out the hard way when things go wrong.
Huh.
If you plug 48 4K cameras into a generic office switch, the whole network, it just grinds to a halt. This unit is built as a Layer 3 managed switch.
Okay.
But the critical spec here isn't just those 48 1-gig ports. It's the 4 10 gigabit SFP plus interlinks.
Ah, right, because if you're maxing out all those ports with video feeds, you need a massive pipe to get that data somewhere else, where otherwise you're just building a digital traffic jam.
Precisely. It's all about a non-blocking architecture. Those 10 GBE uplinks are absolutely essential for aggregating that load.
So that's your escape route for the data.
It is. Plus, it supports LACP, that's Link Aggregation Control Protocol. So you can actually bundle those 10 gig links together. You're not just relying on one lane, you're building a multi-lane highway.
And doing it at a price that, well, it makes you do a double take. The MSRP is sitting around $3,700. I mean, if I'm looking at something with comparable throughput from the big enterprise names, I'm usually seeing an extra zero on that price tag, or at least a very painful subscription fee.
And that's the whole angle. PureLink is attacking the total cost of ownership. You get the hardware, you get the 3-year warranty, but you're not paying that, enterprise tax.
Okay, but let's talk about the thing that actually keeps AV integrators up at night. Configuration. I've spent way too many hours staring at a blinking cursor trying to stop a broadcast storm from killing a building's Wi-Fi. It's a nightmare.
And that's where the AV over IP part really matters most. This switch, it comes pre-configured for video. The big hero here is IGMP snooping.
I know IGMP is what keeps the network from flooding, but for everyone listening, how does it actually manage that traffic?
Okay, so think of it less like a traffic cop and more like a magazine subscription service.
Okay.
Without IGMP, a switch is like a junk mailer. It just shoves every single packet into every single port, whether they want it or not. That absolutely crushes a network.
Right.
IGMP snooping turns it into a targeted subscription. The switch listens and only delivers the video packets to the specific ports that actually requested them.
So my 4K video stream goes to the display that's supposed to show it and not to, the accountant's printer down the hall?
Exactly. And because this supports all the modern IGMP versions right out of the box with the querier and filter functions, you don't have to spend a day in a command line to set it up. It also handles jumbo frames, which is just a much more efficient way to package video data.
Efficiency is great. But let's pivot to where this gear can actually be installed. I noticed a very specific line on the spec sheet. TAA compliant.
That is a massive gatekeeper. TAA is the Trade Agreements Act.
Right.
In today's world, the U.S. government and a lot of big corporations they're extremely strict about where their hardware comes from. They just won't touch gear made in certain countries.
So if you're bidding on a federal job and you spec a cheaper non-compliant switch, your bid is just dead on arrival.
It's an immediate disqualification.
Yeah.
So having TAA compliance means this switch is already vetted for supply chain security. It opens the door to those high-security government contracts.
Got it.
And for the IT folks, it supports SNMP and TRAP, so it speaks their language and plugs right into their monitoring tools.
So it really does seem like it's a bridge device. It has the TAA stamp and SNMP to make the IT department happy, but the pre-configured IGMP and QoS to keep the AV team from pulling their hair out.
That's the synthesis. The AV room is disappearing. It's just another node on the network now. But you can't just throw standard IT gear at the problem and cross your fingers.
It feels like the roles are changing too. The person managing the switch isn't just a network admin anymore, and they're not just an AV tech.
No, they're a hybrid. The IT manager is, in a way, becoming the new broadcast engineer. And they need hardware that speaks both languages fluently.
Which really brings up a final question for everyone listening. If your network is now your broadcast cabling, do you actually know what's happening inside those pipes? Or are you just one bad config away from a black screen? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us.